Dr. Klein awaits. Make sure you're prepared to finish this once and for all. Alright, let's go. Oh, look at them. They're all ready to go.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
I found my brain. Now you and I are going to settle things.
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
I'm not handing my brain over. There's some things we should discuss.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place.
No.
I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments.
Yeah. So originally, my understanding is there was an end. They were going to give you an ending where you can let them succeed. So we do have a couple of options. We can do the confer with your colleagues. We did all the personal quests. We can, you know what? You should confer with your colleagues first.
Nonsense. Confer.
I've never done this before. I've always done the speech
Those are
check.
two words I do not recognize.
Dr. Klein, I must intersect. Please, do not harm the lobotomite.
I'm not going to harm it. I'm going to dissect it until it's dead. Why the sudden intersection, Dala?
I cannot stand a sweet breathing organism, breathing in and out to suddenly not breathe. We must keep it alive. For study. Slow study.
Dala, these vocalized pauses are unlike you. What do you care?
Klein, you know, this lobotomite, it's a great sounding board. You respect ideology, right? This one's, well, it's got good ideas.
I do.
Silence, Dr. O. This is a think tank decision. Save your objections until after I have decided
Wow.
our course of action.
You know what, Klein? Stick a straw in your tank and suck yourself. Long and deep. And my name is Zero. Yeah, a big, fat zero with a slash through it.
The slash as a designator of... Why, that is brilliant. But how did you...
The lobotomite taught me
Yeah,
that.
that's right.
Taught me a name is more than, that I should take pride in things. Like names.
You tell him, Dr. Zero.
And... You know what? Forget it, Klein. I hate you. And your theory of brachial beam oscillation? The Chinese had it first, you copycat.
How dare you? Brainial beam oscillation was solely my discovery. I expressly told you that and deleted all evidence to the contrary. It's 2-8. Why are you acting like this? You've never refused to commit necessary surgery before. And this lobotomite needs its surgery.
Since we did all their quests, they're siding with us against Dr. Klein. But yeah, I've never done this before. I've always done the speech check. Part of me wants to just destroy them, but yeah.
A noble speech, but there's no room in my vocabulators for friend and lobotomite in the same sentence. The very concept, revolting. Perhaps you are irradiated with camaraderie radiation. We have chems for that. We can save you from your emotional addiction.
If I may,
Dr.
I feel
Boris.
as if I must be the voice of reason here. This lobotomite is much like us. Regarding even animals and pets as nothing more than avenues to promote science. There is good here. Instead of ending its life on the table, We should prolong its suffering in the name of
Yes, Ben, stop the
science.
voice.
Like good old Gabe, the finest of lab specimens.
Why am I even listening to you fools? Enough of this mutinous chorus. If there's a word I hate, it's mutiny. And the word jism, which never made any sense
That's
to
not a
me.
word.
It's ridiculous putting j and z together like that. Nonsense! I count as 5. Like the mighty human hand I once had, with its 5 penises clenched in a fist.
Sounds to me like your math is wrong, and the odds aren't good.
Nonsense! The mathematics of this situation are on our side, lobotomite. I believe... No, wait. Carry the 2, then... If this were a democracy, I would be concerned. We are too scientific for that. So just surrender.
It's not a democracy, it's a research facility, and over half of your colleagues dispute your findings.
You dare use logic against me?
Yes, I do. Here's the deal. I'm not going to surrender. You are.
That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm.
You can still do that. Here, quietly for me.
For you? And for science?
Of course for science.
I have a strange sensation that I would like that. How odd. Very well, partner. The think tank is at your service as long as you do not destroy us.
There we go. Yeah, hey Harold, how are you? There we go, we did it. That's Old World Blues, folks.
As it had been in the years before the Great
Destroy
War,
them? No.
Big Mountain,
I was tempted. I was
the
really
Big
tempted.
Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century.
That's me.
The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose.
They really lost their way, huh?
Laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The courier had scoured much of the Big Empty, although secrets still remained in the crater's depths.
Yeah, it's because I didn't find out
Perhaps that was
locations.
for the best, however. Curiosity, while sometimes rewarded for its efforts, often proves to be equally dangerous.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The biological
God, I forgot
research
they all
station,
have an ending.
obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden.
Yeah, every
so
one
that
of them
it
has an
might,
ending.
in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
Bolt 22?
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat. One of them eventually transferred to the Lightwave Dynamics plant and began a long, unrequited affair with one of the holograms.
The thing continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it.
Yes, it's a very weird
Eventually,
story.
it gained access to the magneto-hydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean. Once it learned of the innovative toxins plant, however, it gained new purpose. It sought to develop antitoxins to flush into its drains and counteract the poisons bleeding into the soil.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other Sync personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub.
Damn.
Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Let's hope that day never comes.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except, he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind old Jefferson, with sounds the courier brought him, created a symphonic counter-frequency that saved Big Mountain from sonic invasion in 2910.
2910? That's like 600 years after this game.
If you didn't hear about it, good. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names once too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X8 facility multiple times,
I feel like the ending for this DLC is longer than the base game's
test
ending.
subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit.
Whose voice is this?
Until it could upgrade it no more.
Dr.
It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after, the stealth suit had left it, without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes,
it's a very weird
looking
storyline.
for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
Dr. Klein and the think tank remained alive, unaware of the world outside. They looped through their daily routine, none the wiser about the world beyond. although perhaps
for the best.
wiser was the wrong word. The world outside belonged to the courier, and if anyone would shape it, well, the courier had already called dibs.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, Old World Blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal ponder,
there we go.
The courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained,
DLC 4.
and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
There we go, that's Old World Blues. I've lost the brainless perk. I've gained the big brain perk. Your brain is back in your body, but some advanced technologies remain. Your head cannot be crippled. You're only 10% more resistant to addiction, but your damage threshold has improved. Hey! Yippee! Oh, we leveled up again. Alright, energy weapons, a couple points. Hair. Sneak. Medicine. Alright, what perk do I even want? Do more damage with all sorts of different stuff. Stonewall. Yes, let's get Stonewall. Cannot be knocked down in combat, seems pretty good.
Might I be safe in the assumption that matters with the think
Who's
tank
cheering?
being
All the
satisfactorily
machines.
computed vis-a-vis your residence in this domicile? Very good, sir.
Is a character delusion? No, they're robots, Harold. They're robots talking to me. All of these, like all the stories, like these guys, they're all characters.
I've seen you with her.
What is he saying? Alright, let's go home. Oh, I can't do it while I'm inside. Let's go home. Oh. Alright, Old World Blues. I didn't enjoy it as much as I remembered, unfortunately. Kind of don't like saying that, but I think it wasn't as good as I remember. It was still fun. It was still a lot better than Honest Hearts overall, but I feel like it dragged a bit more than I remembered. The characters all really memorable, really funny. And I like the little hopeful message at the end as well. That's really nice, but it probably wasn't as good as I remembered. Alrighty, I need more ammo. That's what I'm doing here. So let's get some 308 rounds. 50. 1,000 rounds. You know what? 1,000 rounds should be good. You should destroy the AI? No, I don't want to destroy the AI. But you heard what they said at the end. It's easy to think of technology as this be-all, end-all of evil, but it's not really necessarily. Technology's not inherently bad. It's what people do with it. I think that's the moral of the story of Old World Blues.
Welcome, sir.
That and not getting caught up in, like, nostalgia for the past. Focusing on the future. Those are what I see as the main messages of that DLC. We need more shotgun rounds. We definitely need more shotgun rounds. beanbags. No, we don't need beanbag rounds. 12-7. 556. The Bozar. I don't really want Bozar. What else can we get? Is there anything else that's worth getting? Medicine stick is pretty good, I remember. Don't know if I need it though. Okay. And then we can sell some stuff. Yeah, AI is not inherently bad. That's the moral of the story. You can have my sausage, my black blood sausage. That sounds so disgusting just thinking about it, a blood sausage. I know people in like the UK actually eat blood sausages, but I couldn't. Alrighty, but yeah, Old World Blues, it was good. Not as good as I remembered, but it was good. So my DLC rankings right now, it's still Honest Hearts at the bottom, then Old World Blues, and then Dead Money. But it's pretty close actually between Old World Blues and Honest Hearts, I reckon. It's not as close as it's not as they're not as far apart as I thought in terms of their overall how much I enjoyed them. Hello there, sir. You're still here. Welcome, welcome. Alright, who are we gonna take with us in terms of companions? I want to take Eddie with me, and I want to take somebody else. Who can I take? We can take Raoul. Veronica, no. Where's Eddie? Herald? No, there's no Herald companion in this game, unfortunately. They're not here? I think Eddie and Boone aren't here. How is that possible? Rexy's here. Let's wait 24 hours. So if I had to give Old World Blues a rating out of 10, probably 6. I think Dead Money is like an 8 out of 10. Old World Blues is a 6, and I think Honest Hearts is a 5 for me right now. That's how I feel about those DLCs. So we still got Lonesome Road to go, and we still got the last few story beats. Main story. Bro, are they actually just missing? Upgrade the suite. Since when can we do this? But it's not letting me. I can't actually... Oh, there you go. You have to put the mouse over here, and somehow that counts. That is really odd. Oh my god, Panda-chan, thank you for the raid. Hello, hey Minexus. Is that right? Minexus, yes. Hello raiders. Hope you're all doing well. I was definitely not expecting a raid, so hopefully you guys had an awesome time on your stream. No, I kind of want to keep the people. Minexus, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. We're actually just getting ready to wrap up, unfortunately, but thank you. The raid is much appreciated. Oh, you can have one piece of C4, it's fine. But yes, welcome. If you guys had an awesome time on your stream. And thank you for choosing to raid me. I wish I knew where my followers went, though. I think next time we'll do Ranger Grant. Not Ranger. We're not going to do Ranger Grant. We're going to do the assassination quest. Save the president. Alrighty. Yeah, so that was pretty much it. I wasn't going to keep going, so sorry that that you've read it into an ending stream, Panda-chan, but I do appreciate it a lot.
Smart
Cool.
move for the Kings to back down. They didn't know who they were messing with.
Yeah, that's crazy. Cool. So thanks for joining me once again, folks. I'll catch you all at the next time we play New Vegas.